Okay, welcome everybody. This is the Agnihotra lady, and I'm broadcasting live here at Shanti Institute at the Shanti Atlanta location in Conyers. And I just want to talk real quick about the extreme weather. Okay, I'm outside. You can hear the insects going and all of this. And I've been having a lot of conversations about extreme weather. Because we have a lot of things happening, not just in Texas, but flooding in many different places here in the United States. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this, not in a place of fear for everyone, but to just educate people about really what we're supposed to be doing, taking care of this planet. Okay, so now there have been people posting about what's been happening with the clouds and what they've been spraying in the clouds in Texas. And it's not just Texas, it's other places. Yes, I've seen the paperwork on the NOAA website. And of course, the company that's in charge of that, I'm not mentioning any names, they're saying that yes, 2 or 3 days prior to the flooding in that part of Texas, they sprayed in a place, you know, not too nearby, but it's not too far away either from where the flooding happened. And they're saying that this had nothing to do with the flooding. So let me explain to you that the wording that the person used, and then even some of the meteorologists that came on in Texas explaining, saying that these things are not true, that the seeding had nothing to do with the extreme flooding there. They said that they sprayed the things in the clouds because the clouds are inefficient. So we have to keep ourselves aware and to stop trying to perfect something that doesn't need perfecting. Okay? There's nothing inefficient about clouds that were created by Mother, Father, God. There's nothing efficient. What is efficient is the behavior that humans act on the planet. We want to try to perfect everything. Things don't need perfecting. And I understand that they're saying, they were trying to produce rainfall. But you have to understand that for every action, there's an equal reaction. So you cannot tamper with the weather. So you meteorologists, you scientists, you're hearing these things. I'm not naming any names. You cannot play with the weather. These things that you're spraying in the clouds, not only is it causing destruction, the things that come from the clouds, when it does produce rain, it has to fall somewhere. It falls to the soil. It affects the food that is being grown. Okay? So you cannot play with God's creation. That's what I want to say. That's why I'm not mentioning any names, the name of the company, name of any of that. Most people have already been looking at the NOAA website because they have paperwork detailing what they've done to the clouds. Okay, I'm not even saying the term of what it's called because I want people to understand that there's a natural order, okay, for this planet and for the entire universe. Whenever we tamper with any of these things, we cause destruction because we don't realize that we cannot play God with God's creation. Okay, so understand that from a yogic perspective, an Ayurvedic perspective, which is what I'm talking about, absolutely what you did to the clouds, what you're continuing to do to the clouds, is causing a problem to the earth and the people that live on the earth. So someone was saying to me, many people were saying to me, like, oh my God, it seems like every week, every other day was flooding going on. Okay, in many different parts of the country. It's because they have been tampering with the weather for a very long time. They now have been talking about it openly now because they're like, okay, great. You talked about what happened in Dubai, but now we're talking about what's happening here right now. What we're doing here in our very own country that's affecting a lot of people, hurting and killing them. So understand that these organizations, any organization that is trying to have the betterment for a particular group, okay, if it does not have betterment for the entire population, then it's not a good activity. So let's think about this. You know, you have various organizations that are doing good for this group, and you want to cater to that group. But you have to understand, you have to cater to your entire community, the entire neighborhood, your city. It has to go globally. So if every community is thinking outside of themselves and their personal needs, we would not have these problems that we're having in this country with the weather. And we're not even talking about weather. We're just talking about just general life, how you treat people, being loving and kind. Okay, understanding yourself, studying yourself, making sure that you give more than you receive. Okay, and making sure that other people have the support they need to live a life. Everybody wants clean water, clean air, and healthy food. Okay? We're not supposed to have all this disparity here in the world. We're supposed to be working together. So this weather engineering, all this stuff it has to stop. So they may not think anything is being affected or is not causing that, but these are still experiments. You may not see effects immediate, but you better believe all that weather engineering, it is not good for the planet. So do not call these clouds inefficient. I've heard this being said by meteorologists and the person, the CEO of that company. Oh, this is what we need to do because the clouds are inefficient. And so why are the clouds inefficient? Let's talk about the foundation of this. Everything that we have done to this planet, okay, is because we're greedy. We don't care about the planet. If you cared about the planet, you wouldn't do things to destroy the life, the ecological system here. Okay? Is not sustainable. So we will have even more flooding and tornadoes and extreme weather, flash floods, because we don't understand we're playing God. Okay? So we teach Agnihotra here, which is a way to cleanse the air, the water, and the soil. And Agnihotra is an ancient Ayurvedic technique that is weather engineering. But it's weather engineering in a good way, the Agnihotra. The Agnihotra gives balance, okay? It gives balance, okay, to the air. It cleanses the air because it's giving the nutrients back so the ecology system can continue. Everything has to continue, okay, to benefit everybody, every man, woman, child, every animal, every bird, butterfly, the insects, the worms in the soil. Okay? Agnihotra benefits the entire life cycle. So let's think about this. On many different levels, we have things that are going on with the planet. And if it's not beneficial to everybody, then should you do it? So let's think about the lithium and cobalt that is dug by hand by young children. They don't use machines for that. It is poisonous. And children get killed all the time digging this up. But we need this for our computers, for our cell phones. So is this beneficial for the entire population? Let's think about that. Let's think about that. All these everyday things that we take for granted, how does it affect someone across the world that is producing that? Okay, when you spray the chemicals in the soil on the plants, That affects the insects there. It affects the food that people ingest. A lot of people get sick from these chemicals that they spray on the plants, like the atrazine and the other things, the Roundup and all this stuff. Okay, we now know all these lawsuits that people are getting very sick from that. So is that beneficial to all of the populations of people? Okay, so this is the type of thinking that we have to have when we are doing things for people, for a group of people. If it does not benefit everyone, then should you do it? So this is the mindfulness is that we're talking about. So any of these organizations and people that work with these organizations, if you're listening to me now, if it does not have an overall benefit to the entire population, whether it be locally, okay, statewide, nationwide, globally, then should you be doing it? Should you be doing it? We have to think about these things, okay? These are our brothers and sisters that are suffering. Even if you're not suffering at this point, at some point, the flood might hit you. So for all of us that perform Agnihotra, this is a way to cleanse the air, cleanse the water, and to fortify the soil, get the toxins out the soil. This is the Agnihotra is the weather engineering to balance these things out. Because we cannot depend on these organizations to do the right thing. But each and every one of us can do the right thing. Yes. So I wanted to come and say these words because people have been talking about this to me throughout the week. And I know certain people's pages were taken down, or the videos were taken down because they were detailing all these things and really trying to call a lot of people out. But what I want to do is let us call each other out, because we're in this together. Each organization is built upon a group of people, but this entire planet is the human group. So each and every one of us is responsible for whatever happens to this planet, good or bad. So what can you do to help with this problem? So if you're watching this and you would like to know about Agnihotra, if you live in the Atlanta area, come to Conyers and I will show you how to perform this so you can help your area. And if you're in Texas or some of these other areas, see if there's someone near you that can teach you Agnihotra. Or call me and I will connect you with somebody. Because this is how we can address this issue. But scientists, please know that you cannot continue to mess with these clouds anymore. And you know that what you're doing is wrong because it's killing people. It's hurting the environment. It's messing up ecosystems. So just be mindful of whatever you do and know that karma is involved. You indeed reap what you sow. That is the law of the universe. What you do, it comes back to you. So we're not talking about anything overly complicated, everybody. We're talking about the natural way of doing things. What makes sense? What is natural? Everybody has to have clean water, clean air, and healthy food. And please know that they have been talking about, because the earth is spinning faster, that will be affecting people's behavior. Of course it does. We are creatures of cycles. And just know that the pollution is just not water, air, and soil. The electromagnetic field. Listen to this, everybody. We're talking about gravity, electromagnetic field, the earth spinning faster. When the electromagnetic field is disrupted with pollution, that's when more diseases happen. It affects your mind, how you think. Okay? Electromagnetic pollution, noise pollution. There are many different types of pollution. So how can you have a mind that is pure and full of love, if the earth is spinning so fast, your mind is racing, and all these things are happening, we have to deal with this at the foundation and level. Because if the humans are causing the pollution, the humans are doing all these things to the air, to the clouds, the humans have to bring about the solution, because we're causing the problem. So we have a solution. We have the solution. Agnihotra is a solution to these things. And that's all I wanted to share with you this evening. So for those in Texas, if you need some help, please send me a DM, or you can email at shantivillainstitute@gmail.com, or give me a call, 404-487-8156. And we'll connect you with some people that can show you Agnihotra, and you can get this started in your community. And this goes for any other community that's having a extreme weather event, because this is affecting everyone. This even affects us when we send out our cow dung, and even collecting the cow dung from our cows, okay? Everybody's being affected by this extreme weather, okay? So we have to do better, people. We are the caretakers. We're the divine caretakers of this planet. We got to do better, okay? Okay, and that's all I wanted to share with everyone tonight. So be blessed, and I will talk to you the next time. Om Shanti.